The St. Louis Blues are looking to get back into the win column tonight as they host the Vancouver Canucks. We're going to talk about it coming up here on Locked On Blues.
Hey, this is Brayden Chen. Subscribe to Locked On Blues.
You're Locked On Blues, your daily podcast on the St. Louis Blues. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
And welcome back to Locked On Blues. I am doing a special pregame show to get you into Blues Canucks, as tonight's game is actually important considering the situation that the Blues are in right now, because the Blues cannot seem to win. It has been such a brutal stretch of hockey. And I think I can speak for not only myself, but I think I can speak for the whole fan base when I say that it's been really difficult to watch the Blues in action. So I feel like, I don't know, this whole episode is going to be us just really talking about how the Blues can win, how they can get back into the win column, and why it is so important. We also need to talk about the fact that there was a move that involved a Kyrou. That is right. Jordan Kyrou. No, I'm joking. It's his little brother. He ended up getting moved around, so we're going to talk about that. We have a lot to talk about today. Today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. Download the FanDuel app now by visiting FanDuel.com and win $300 in bonus bets if your first $5 bet wins. Hello. I know we had a little bit of a long intro, but listen, we as a fan base have been going through it a lot, okay? We haven't been able to win. We have absolutely no hope and motivation with this team considering the lack of effort that we see on the ice. And the one thing that I said the Blues should do, they finally did by calling up Dvorský. And this is a move, honestly, that could really ignite this team. But I want to leave it at this. In no way do I want all of this pressure to be put on Dvorský. That's not what I'm insinuating. I think that's totally unfair to do to him, considering the situation that he is in right now, being with a team that evidently cannot really find its groove. And the great Chris Pronger put out something on social media and said, do you think the Blues just have to find their rhythm in a sense? And I think it goes beyond that, right? I think with the Blues right now, I think that there's all this pressure put on them because they haven't been performing well. And naturally, that's totally, what I expect, right? When you're not doing well, of course, there's going to be added pressure to you because you're letting down the fan base. But at the same time, I also feel like right now with this team, we maybe expected a little bit too much from them. And what I want to say by that is this. They had stretches of really bad hockey last season. They did. And I don't know why, but to me at least, I felt like heading into the offseason, I kind of looked past that because I was really focused on the 12-game win streak, going to the playoffs. So at least for me, that was a concern that maybe I should have considered more heading into this season, was that we have seen this team in really bad stretches. But right now, when I'm telling you that this is one of the worst starts to a season that I have seen from this team in a while, that's an understatement, because it is not by any means acceptable what we are seeing out of the Blues. It's not. In my opinion, this is actually like bad. I mean, you're a bottom 3 team right now in the NHL. The only 2 teams that are below you are San Jose and Calgary. And Calgary's had, by the way, a really bad start to the season, like unexpectedly bad. I did not expect that from the Flames. But my job today isn't to roast the Flames, right? My job today is to talk to you about the Blues. And with the Blues, let's go count and see how many losses we have had since we beat Dallas. Again, that Dallas game was Saturday, October 18th. We lost to the Kings. We lost to the Mammoth. we lost to the Red Wings, we lost to the Penguins, and then we lost to the Red Wings again. So that is 5 games. The only reason why we haven't lost 5 in a row technically is because we did go to overtime against the Kings. So we got that point. So we're 0-4-1. Pathetic. So being said, we're not a good hockey team. The last time we even picked up a point was the 21st. And it is the 30th now. So that has been like 9 days. So we haven't had a point. Will they get one tonight? Well, luckily for us, the Canucks are not playing that well, all things considering. And I know that we play teams that are also not that great and we still struggle. So I guess it's unfair for me to say, well, it should be maybe a potential win when that's not probably going to be the case. The Canucks most recently just lost to the Rangers 2-0. They got shut out. However, they did beat the Oilers in overtime this past Sunday 4-3. They lost to the Canadiens 4-3. And the reason why I'm saying this is just due to the pure fact that the Canucks are one of those teams that is at least scoring and making it close. The Blackhawks, though, I have to tell you, like, they're just whatever. Okay, so let's go talk about the lines for tonight and get into we have why is Kyrou? I said a Kyrou. Does Jordan Kyrou have a sibling? Stay tuned. Anyways, let's talk about the lines for tonight because in my opinion, this is a really important hockey game. Not just because we need to get a win, but because we do have the king, Dvorský, obviously. So this is the Dvorský game, and let me just have my moment to say this. I literally cannot vouch for him enough. He is such a good player, and I'm so happy that he's finally getting called up. Okay. Anyways, just to give you a heads up, there's going to be no Robert Thomas and no Jake Neighbors. So when I go over the lineup and you say to me, where's Robert Thomas and Jake Neighbors? They're not playing, injury. Jakey is on IR. So that is that. Anyways, forwards on the first line centering, it's Captain Braden Shen. And Shenner did get a goal in the last game, like only like 40-something seconds in. So in my opinion, Captain Braden Shen, have at it. To the left, it's Bushi, and to the right, it's Snugs. On the second line centering, it is the icon, it is the legend, it is Dvorský, finally getting his opportunity to shine. On his left, it's Mojo, and then on the right, it's Ruzi. On the third line centering, it's P.U. Suter. On the left, it's Holloway, and then on the right, it's Sonny. Finally, the fourth line, we have Mr. Bukestad, and then on the left, it's Torchenko, and then on the right, it's the Aussie Nathan Walker. For defense tonight, we have Philip Broberg and Colton Parayko, Fowler and Falk, Tux and Mayu, and net Binner the winner. So we have, in my opinion, probably a really strong lineup compared to some of the other combinations that we've seen. Obviously, it hurts when we don't have our boy Robert Thomas. He hasn't been doing much, though. And Jake Neighbors, who has been doing a lot. But Jordan Kyrou, 8-game point streak. Woo! That's our guy. We don't give Ruzi enough credit at all. I mean, I do, but I'm saying like just overall. So I'm excited to see him tonight. Also, I just want to give a heads up that Dvorský will be on the power play. Monty said he's been playing and he's going to be on the power play. He's been very effective on the power play in Springfield. These last 3 games have been the best 3 games that he's played. He's feeling good about himself. He's making plays and he's scoring goals. He's doing all the things. That's why the guy gets caught up. Anyways, Dvorský said it feels amazing. This is going to be his 3rd NHL game. He played 2 last season. He said, quote, I'm a little older, more experienced. I've learned more stuff at this year's camp. So I feel like I am more experienced than last year. So it's going to be really good for Dvorský. I mean, we talk a lot about Snuggie, and I think Snuggie is such a fabulous player. But Dvorský, I mean, he is just such an elite goal scorer, and he's able to get into the 5-hole. Like, he really is, like, an excellent player. And in the 2 games that he did play for us last season up here in St. Louis, it wasn't the best games. However, I still don't feel like 2 games is a large enough sample size to judge how he's going to be. So I am excited for my guy, Dvorský. I'm going to talk to you about why a win is really important for this team right now. But first, FanDuel. The NBA is back, and there's no better place to get in on the action than FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA. Even if you miss the start of the game or want to ride the hot hand, FanDuel has live bets on everything from who will score next to fourth quarter comebacks. Plus, you can even combine your live bets into a same-game parlay for a shot at a bigger payout. It keeps every game exciting, especially when your team's making that late punch. Right now, FanDuel is giving new customers $300 in bonus bets when your first $5 bet wins. So head to FanDuel.com to sign up and play your game with FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA. I don't know if you guys, and this is a little bit off topic, if you guys have dogs or cats, but my cat right now is sitting in a box. Well, I have 2 cats, and I think it's really adorable. So if you're on YouTube and you see me kind of like moving my phone for just a bit, I am taking a picture of the cuteness that I am seeing. Okay, so speaking of cuteness that I want to see, okay, little transition. I want to see the Blues win. It has been too long. It's been since the 18th since the Blues won a game. That's 12 days ago. Like, that is not okay, and that's not acceptable. And most importantly, we are a bottom 3 team in the NHL right now. And I feel like, and I can't speak for the whole entire fan base, but I feel like for me, I'm still watching every game, right? I'm annoyed when I watch these games from the beginning instead of a couple minutes in. But I feel like this is end of season hockey when you're already eliminated from the playoffs, right? It doesn't necessarily feel like this is a start to a season. And maybe that's just because I'm really discouraged right now and I just feel like it's not going to get better. But I feel like a win would at least help in that sense. And something else that didn't help me either, and I just want to put this out here because I got a lot of backlash on Twitter about this. The Mammoth announced that Logan Cooley has signed an 8-year, $10 million extension. So I quoted it and said, yeah, we're cooked. And then some people were like, why? That's a good deal. He's a good player, and they're in our division. And I think for me too, we have such a competitive division in the Central right now. We're obviously in last place, which is really embarrassing, considering the fact that we made it to the playoffs last year and we were somewhat of a decent team, and now we're just cook chat. But I am so concerned about what this team's going to be like, not even just this season, but next season, the seasons to come. So when there's a really talented player that has a really, in my opinion, good extension, that's going to make me nervous and apprehensive about the longevity of the talent that we have left on the Blues, because we're going to be out talented. Basically, what I'm trying to say is the Blackhawks, they have a lot of good prospects. They're going to be better than us one day. I mean, they're better than us now. The Stars, again, always an issue. I hate to say it, but even the Predators have a lot of good talent. So I get really nervous in a sense. And again, Logan Cooley's one of those players. I mean, he had a great game against us, obviously. But I think for us to get a win, it would just give us a little bit more confidence. Now, what I will say is if this team really wants to tank, and that's the direction that they want to go in, and I don't think any team like purposely tries tanking, at least they won't say it publicly, then okay, fine. But at the same time, the issue with the Blues isn't the talent that we have prospect-wise. It is the veteran players, right? And what I mean by that is this. We have Adam Juracek, who is a great defenseman that's going to be ready in a couple of years. And I think, again, that's going to help a lot with our defense. But when I look at the problems on defense, and I know Logan Mailloux hasn't been so great, and like, again, whatever. I look at guys like Justin Folk, right? Tyler Tucker. I look at, Parayko. Are the guys that are veterans giving us enough? And you have to think about that. Can you count on a Matthew Kessel when he gets put into games? And the reason why I say this isn't because I am trying to make you annoyed or even more annoyed, but it's because what would we benefit in getting a really good prospect that's going to have to take 2 to 3 years to develop right now? I personally think that the Blues need to consider trading. I think that you have a lot of no trade clauses, which is a mistake and something that I never agreed with. I don't think you need to hand out that many. But I think that you should consider making some trades just because what you're looking for isn't necessarily going to be prospects. It's going to be NHL-ready players. And when the Blues had the offer sheets with Broberg and Holloway, I actually thought that was really effective just for the pure fact that they were NHL-ready players, even though we haven't really seen much from Holloway and whatever. And Broberg's been a little questionable on defense, whatever. The point is this, like, I want NHL-ready players. But as much as I'm saying about the defense, I also get concerned with the lack of energy that I am seeing offensively, especially on the power play. Like, I am not seeing enough. And that, to me, just confuses me. Because on paper, when I go over all the different players that we have, they're really talented players. But for whatever reason, the only players that I'm noticing are Jordan Kyrou and Jake Neighbors. And Jake obviously is on IR right now. So this is an opportunity for a guy like Dvorský to come in and to make a statement. Because we saw that with Snuggerud last season. He made a statement in those 7 regular season games and then the playoff games. And I'm kind of cracking up at this comment right now from Guitar Pedals saying Folk is on the power play. Yeah. And I have the same reaction. He gets like about 23, 24 minutes a game, which is a lot of ice time. And I personally think that maybe they're keeping him because he eats ice time, but he also makes really bad passes. He doesn't get back fast enough. He doesn't read the ice well enough. And I'm not trying to roast him all the time, but I don't get how they even kept him this offseason. I said that I thought him and Nick Leddy were both going to go. Well, Nick Leddy was put on waivers, but evidently Justin's still here. So I don't know if I see him lasting the whole season, but then the Blues, they have to ask themselves this. Would we rather have other players eat up some more ice time, or would you rather have this current situation? And I don't know if they trust a guy like a Logan Mailloux or Tyler Tucker to eat up ice time. I don't know if they do or not. The problem that we have with defense right now is that we don't have a lot of guys that we can count on. We haven't seen the best from Fowler. We haven't seen the best from Parayko or Broberg. Like, I can't name you one of our defensemen that I have been impressed by because I haven't with any of them. So, for me, I guess I'm a little confused because I don't get why the Blues thought that it would be a good idea to keep him when he was a liability last season. And, oh, by the way, why they didn't think to themselves, maybe we should try to make a trade to bring in some younger defensive legs that have NHL experience and that can fit right in, and not a player that we can take a gamble on by trading away Zach Bolduc, who was really consistent for us and played really good hockey. Oh, wait. They didn't do that. And I think, honestly, with Logan, and I saw this great comment, by the way. This is why I like going live sometimes, is I love interacting with all of you. We got Mayu for the power play, use him, and I agree. I think that, honestly, if you do put him on the power play, then maybe it will show some more benefits as to why we traded for him. I think with the trade for Mayu, they put a lot of pressure on the kid. The organization did, in my opinion, by just the pure fact that you traded away Zach Bolduc, and it was just, in my opinion, a trade that I wouldn't have done. But I have to keep in mind that Logan Mayu is still 22. He's still young. A lot of time to still develop. And why not put him on the power play? Justin slows down the power play. And I encourage you tonight, when we watch the contest, to, again, this actually might make you annoyed. I don't care. But when you watch the contest tonight, and if the Blues do get a power play, I encourage you to watch Justin and Justin only, and just notice how he doesn't keep up with the pace of the game, because that's something that I have noticed. So again, let me know your thoughts. I don't know necessarily if they're going to win tonight. They might. Probably not. I'm sorry, I'm negative. I don't know what else to say. It's really bad. And my frustration is real. This is not an act. This is not me putting on a show because I do a podcast and I'm on camera. No, I am actually crashing out all the time. I am going to talk to you about how Kyrou was traded today. And I do laugh when people don't know about this specific player, just because I feel like, I don't know, you should. But I want to talk to you about my friends over at Monarch. Let's be honest, most of us can't even name all of our financial accounts, let alone what they're worth between 401ks, savings, and investments. It's easy to lose track, and that can mean leaving money on the table. That's why I started using Monarch, an all-in-one personal finance tool that brings your entire financial life together in one clean, easy-to-use interface on your laptop or your phone. Personally, it's helped me a lot track my spending, and I get a better handle on my investments without having a spreadsheet. Let's face it, spreadsheets are confusing. So don't let financial opportunities slip through the cracks. Use code LOCKEDONNHL at monarch.com for 50% off your first year. That's monarch.com, code LOCKEDONNHL for half off your first year. Kyrou was traded. And honestly, this is a player that the Blues could really benefit from, in my opinion. But anyways, Christian Kyrou. Who is Christian Kyrou, you might ask? That's the younger brother of Jordan Kyrou. He was actually with the Dallas Stars, and he got traded to the Philadelphia Flyers. And he was drafted by the Stars in the second round. He was 50th overall in 2022, that draft. And he is a defenseman, by the way. So that is why I stated that he might be beneficial. It's so, I'm little rosy, but Christian Kyrou played in 97 AHL games with the Texas Stars in the 3 seasons, with 12 goals and 38 points during the 23-24 season. He led all Texas defensemen in power play goals with 3, and ranked second among blue liners with 23 points, 8 goals, 15 assists. So far this season, Kyrou has skated for 4 games and has registered 8 shots on goals. So this is honestly so funny to me, because it's I'm I got the notification because I cover another NHL team, the Flyers, right? And I get a notification, and it's Flyers trade for Kyrou. And I'm like, Jordan? And I panicked. I was like, because I like Kyrou. I like Jordan with the Blues. Don't change it. And I panicked, right? And then I was like, oh, it's Christian. Good for him. So, again, it's good seeing his development. And I always like when siblings play. Obviously, we have our captain, Braden Shen, who has a brother, Luke Shen. And they did play together at one point. So part of me is hoping that the Blues one day do pick up Christian Kyrou, just because I think that would be really cool for Jordan to be able to play with his brother. But evidently, he is now in Philadelphia, where I am at. So let's just give our last minute thoughts about this contest, because I want to read what some of you had to say. If they lose tonight, the block of ice under Monty will start melting. Oh, wow. We're not going to sacrifice anyone to the hockey gods. We already sacrificed the season. But if they lose tonight, yeah, I don't know. I just feel emptiness. It's like usually I'm like, oh my God, I'm optimistic. No, I'm empty. Let's go actually look at the standings really fast before I go, because I feel like I just want to give you a picture right now of the West. So we have 7 points, right? In the 10 games that we have played, 3 wins, 6 losses, and then 1 OTL. Okay. We've lost our 5 games in a row. Like, shout out Blues. The Wild have 9 points, right? And the 11 games that they played, they're on a 4-game losing streak. The Predators, they have 10 points on a 2-game losing streak. We have the Blackhawks of 12 points. So just keep that in mind right now. If the bottom 4 teams, it's the Blackhawks, the Predators, the Wild, and the Blues. That is so crazy to me, because I said in the beginning of, the season, which was a couple of weeks ago, that I could see the Wild and Blues being some of the top teams in the Central. Okay. And then we have our top 4 teams. Leading the Central Division with 16 points. Utah. With also 16 points. In second, it's the Avalanche. The Jets with 14 points in third. And then those Dallas Stars with 13 points. I get that it's still early, but at the same time, when your top team in the division has 16 points and you're at 7, that's a 9-point differential. Yeah, that makes me a little bit concerned. I mean, it's not good. It's really not good. Like, we would be in dead last in any of the Eastern conferences, and we would actually not be as bad in the Pacific, but the Pacific's always been the weakest link. Either way, it's brutal. Hopefully the Blues win, but you know what? I'm not counting on it. And if they win tonight, I'll be happy. If they lose tonight, you know what? Tank for McKenna. All I know is pain. All right, I'll talk to you guys later. And like always, let's go Blues.